I'm addictive and expensive. Byron Wilcott. And I'm watching WGS-TV.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I'm the WrestleGamer Double V Billy Butcher, and guys and gals, before I get the Impact Wrestling review for the week of October 22nd, 2014 out of the way, just want to let you know you guys are probably going to see a slew of videos going up here on WGS-TV before Hell in the Cell will commences tomorrow night on pay-per-view. So I'm going to try to bang everything out, get everything done for you guys, so that way you guys can see the reviews. I got more gameplay of Metal Dead and The Wolf Among Us, and for some inane reason, I got Five Nights at Freddy's. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. But anyway, let's get to the Impact Wrestling review for this week. Apparently on this week's episode, it was featured the tag team tournament. Now, there's one thing, that really irked me a little bit. When you have one person of a set tag team come out and say, oh, I wonder who I'm going to name as my partner, and they call out their partner and, their set tag team partner, it makes it a little redundant, in my opinion. Case in point, the first one, it was Matt Hardy naming Jeff Hardy to be his tag team partner. Then it was DJ Z naming Jessie. You kind of see where I'm going with this? You kind of see what I'm saying? It really doesn't make any sense. But anyway, long story short, Matt Hardy hits the twist of fate on Jessie, followed up by Jeff with the Swanton Bomb, classic Hardy move, and the Hardys advance in the tag team tournament. Now, as we saw last week on Impact Wrestling, the whole situation involving Bram and brother Devon of Team 3D, Bram goes out to cut a promo calling himself the new king of hardcore, which then leads to Devon going out there to confront him about said issue, and they end up having a confrontation where Kurt Angle makes the brilliant move of a match between these two guys in a hardcore match. Really, I think that's a really good call. I think it was a really good call in my opinion. Following that, now this was interesting. This was more interesting than anything. Is Low Ki, who is not a part of a tag team in the tag team tournament. So you really, you started wondering just who exactly he was going to call out to be his partner, and lo and behold, it was Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe calling out Gunner, it really wasn't that much of a surprise, but what happened after the match was really what surprised a lot of fans. Apparently Brittany was out there distracting Samuel Shaw while Samoa Joe locked the Kinkita clutch on Gunner, forcing him to tap out. So Samoa Joe and Low Ki advanced in the tournament, and Samuel Shaw pretends to walk away while Gunner was confronting Brittany, and then picks up a chair and attacks Gunner. Basically a heel turn, while Brittany and Samuel Shaw swap spit. That's kind of how they did it. Now, up next, we were scheduled to have a match between, I think it was Rebel and Angelina Love, but Havok comes out, attacks Rebel. Then we see the return of Gail Kim and a confrontation between these two over the Knockouts Championship. And that's pretty much it. Will we ever see WWE Divas do this? Probably not. Probably not. Knockouts have been a lot more impressive than what the WWE has been doing with their Divas. Now, the NXT Divas are probably a whole different story, but I'll get to that when I do the NXT review for this week. Up next, we have the hardcore matchup that was spoken of just earlier, Bram and Devon. Again, when TNA means hardcore, they really go out. They got the weapons, the chairs, everything out there. They don't just have it like a no DQ match. I mean, they go all out. And that's what I really love about it. Bram hits Devon with the metal turnbuckle tool after he got distracted by Magnus. Bram picks up the win. And again, the next matchup in the tag team tournament, again, it just goes back to what I'm saying. people who are part of set tag teams naming their partners to be in the tag team tournament. Really kind of redundant. Really kind of redundant to have them do that. But it's Kenny King and MVP taking on Anderson and Chris Melendez. Kind of a rivalry between these two, if you think about it in a sense. Kenny King ends up rolling up Christopher Melendez and holding onto the tights to pick up the victory as Kenny King and MVP advance in the tournament. Now, earlier in the night, Eric Young made it kind of known that he wanted Rockstar Spud to be his partner for the tag team tournament, but Spud didn't seem too enthralled with it. He didn't seem too enthusiastic to be a partner. He was still a little depressed over being fired by who he thought was his friend in EC3, but it was EC3 and Tyrus Brodus Clay, and if you look up on Twitter, his Twitter handle is still Brodus Clay. And so Eric Young, he attempts once to call out Rockstar Spud to be his partner. He doesn't show up. Then EC3 cuts the promo, which then gets Rockstar Spud to come out. Long story short about this one, Tyrus hits a choke slam on Spud. Apparently that's his signature in TNA now. It's a choke slam. And then EC3 covers Rockstar Spud to pick up the victory. So it's EC3 and Tyrus advancing in the tournament. So basically right now we got 2 face tag teams and 2 heel tag teams. The Hardys, Samoa Joe and Low Ki, and then we got Kenny King MVP and EC3 and Tyrus. Now, to say the least, if TNA does, a blunder here and bracket their tournament as face-face, heel-heel, would be ridiculous. It's got to go face-heel, face-heel. Much more interesting. The finale of Impact Wrestling this week, it featured Bobby Roode, Bobby Lashley contract signing for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, with Kurt Angle adding in a special stipulation, a special guest referee to make sure that there are no, quote, shenanigans during this matchup. And he goes ahead and he names himself. Now, MVP and company at first looked like it was going to turn down and not sign the contract, but Lashley went against MVP and signs the contract like he's up for it. So now it is official. On next week's Impact Wrestling, it's going to be Bobby Roode and Bobby Lashley for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, with Kurt Angle as the special guest referee. Anyone sense a swerve coming on? Could be, could be not. Just speculation. Mere speculation. My overall score on Impact Wrestling this week, it was a very decent show, even though I gotta take my score down a bit, down to a 3 out of 5, because of the redundancy of having guys who are part of set tag teams go out there and they're giving them the option to call out who their partner is going to be. Matt definitely is going to always call out Jeff. Gunner and Samuel Shaw, that one's a little redundant. Anderson, Christopher Melendez, Kenny King, and MVP. Again, it's just the redundancy of it. They just haven't named the tag teams and let them go out there. I really like the hardcore match with Bram and Devon. I think it really, really went over well, in my opinion, especially when you're taking on someone as legendary in hardcore matches as Devon from the Dudley Boys, aka Team 3D, aka ECW. And it really brings home the point that they're really trying hard to put over Bram, and they really did a good job of that. So the hardcore match between Bram and Devon is going to be the best match of the night. As far as worst segment goes, I don't know. It's really hard to pinpoint anything really bad about the show, because everything was just really executed really well. So I'm really not going to, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say Shaw turning on Gunner and hooking up with Brittany, all because you know, was anyone really interested? Really? Now, I can understand them trying to do something with Shaw and Gunner in that angle, but it really just felt like a waste of time, is what it felt like. So that's why I'm going to name that worst segment of the night. So on that note, guys and gals, what I want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Impact Wrestling this week. What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Impact Wrestling this week? I definitely want to know what you guys have to say. Be sure you put your comments in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Don't forget to follow me on the Facebook page, facebook.com/WGS-TV. And don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFX TV Network if you haven't already. So with that being said, I'm the Wrestle Gamer, Devon saying thank you very much for watching.